Question came in from Anne regarding the little boy blue. It's one of Jeannie's designs. And we have here on number 5, it says the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, but then in here it says chain 3 counts as a double crochet here and throughout. Why does this one not count as a stitch, but this one does? And it has everything to do with the anatomy of the stitch. And I'm going to demonstrate why that is in just a second. So Anne, what happens in crochet here is that we have chain 3 and it looks very close to a double crochet. So a lot of patterns say that the first chain 3 counts as a double crochet and therefore you move to the second. Now here's what's going to happen here in the comments. See this ugly gap that happens? That is completely avoidable. If you don't like that, then what I tend to do, if you're not watching me and I'm not quietly crocheting on my own, I just do a little bit of an extended just chain 1 like this, and then I use that first one as a double crochet instead, and therefore that chain 1 is just climbing up the side, and therefore I don't have any gapping spaces. Some people want to do a chain 2, so if that's something you want to do on the pattern, that's completely up to you, and this is the top of that double crochet, which is then the last stitch, right? So you can come over here and do that. Now there's a problem when you do half double crochet that is indicated in the 5th round. And half double crochet, when they say to chain does count, people like me, even though I've been crocheting for almost 40 years, is that I missed that stitch. So let's turn around and do that. So if they say chain 2 counts as a half double crochet, when you go to half double crochet the next one, that chain 2, every time I've done it, I lose it. So see how it looks like crap? And so what we have is that when I come back to that, I start second guessing to myself, and I start seeing dead people at some point when chain 2 counts, because it doesn't look right to me. And therefore, if I'm working on a blanket, I will always miss that last one, and I will create that perfect triangle. So I'm supposed to technically go in the top of this chain 2, but if I'm watching TV, I'm most likely going to miss it. And I don't think that's uncommon with crocheters at all. And therefore you get that ugly space. So if we frog this out and we go back and we say chain 2 does not count as a stitch, you could just do a chain 1 if you want to. So if you chain 2 and then use the first one as a half double crochet, this here is the top of that stitch, not on the side. And you won't get that ugly gap either. So some people chain 1, some people chain 2, and some people have other ways of doing it as well, because I'm sure people will make a comment about that. So it does cause the side to have a little bit of a bulge to it, but the bulge, to my point of view, is decent. So chain 2 does not count. You use the top one right on the edge, and therefore you will not miss that when you get over to the other side.